Okay, we're gonna cut top sirloin. I already kind of got ahead of myself and forgot to hit start on the video recorder. So I already had this top fat cap cut off, but I just kind of wanted to put it back on there to show you where it would be placed. Right there. Meat straight down on this side. It curves around the back. After that is freed, and set that aside. Direction of cut. We're going to start cutting steaks this way. Most of your grain runs this way across. Always cut against your grain. So we're going to cut this way across. This is your back part where it just kind of folds over. And then you'll see your two sections of meat here that's still kind of connected. You can cut some of this excess off here, or you don't have to. You can wait till trimming at the end. I usually wait until trimming. You want to cut as little off at the end here as you can, but you still need enough cut off to make a nice straight cut to start with. And that little bit, usually there isn't enough to do hardly anything with it, so that would be garbage. Alright, so my first steak here, I always try to cut a little bit thicker because it is just a little bit smaller. And then just keep going. That would be number 3. Typically you get anywhere between 5 and 8 steaks on one chunk of top sirloin. Alright, so we're getting kind of down towards the end here now. The one thing that you are going to look for in all of your steaks is you have a little piece of brown meat down here. There's a little divider in there, but that's what you're looking for your top sirloin. And it's looking like we might get one more out of here. set that aside. So on this last one, we had a little bit of a different coloration there. Flip it over, a little bit there. So this one we will call a top sirloin steak. Altogether, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now this end piece here, we're getting down so you can't really see a whole lot anymore. So this we're going to trim out and turn it into sirloin tips. Alright, we just had to grab the other knife. That would be your fat piece that's garbage. Got a little bit of excess here. And a little bit of your bottom. That'll go in a separate pile. Get this other piece here. Alright, trimming out your steaks. So majority of this on the top you want to trim off. These little pieces down here that I'm trimming off, it's just the belly skin area that you want to get rid of. And we have a little bit on here. That's what we're trimming. That just kind of wraps around there, so we'll get that off there. Alright, so that would be number 1 for steak. There is quite a fat chunk on here yet, so this back part, we're going to pretty much take all the way off. Once we get that fat off, there is another lining part that just cosmetically does not look very nice. That's why you just want to take that off. Alright, then we have a little piece here that we're going to leave on there. Flipping it around. we're just cleaning it up. Take all your belly skin off again, which we have a little piece here and there, but not a whole lot of trim on this one. Alright, and call her good. Alright, same as the others, we're going to leave this top part alone, but we're going to trim the majority of this back off. Here on the front, you got some kind of gristly looking. Underside belly skin, a little bit there. Alright, this part down here we're not going to worry about. Top part we're going to need alone. Even that, you can trim a little bit off here. Bottom side, this we're going to pretty much all trim off. This piece is just kind of hanging there. Some of these we might have to just flip over just to start trimming, just because that's the way that it was kind of cut and formed in a natural curl. Now, we don't have a whole lot up here on this side. There is right there. But once we flip it, then we can just take that very back chunk off and not worry about the rest of it. On the top part. On the bottom, this little silver piece here, all that does is attach this bottom chunk of meat, so we can leave that on there. There's no other belly fat on there, but this part on the bottom, we want to trim. And there's one more, we got two left. Alright, just a little bit on the bottom of this one. Now this is your very first cut that you need, or that I made. So it'd be stupid to cut it this way. I need to flip it over. That's the natural curve of the meat. Excuse me. sometimes this first one is a little tricky just to get that first cut for your steak. Alright, this might not look all that great, but that's what all that's going to get look-wise. When I package, I'm going to package it so that this side is up. Alright, that top fat cap that we cut off first, we're going to bring him back over and set these excess pieces out of the way. Alright, so the back part of this, we're just going to trim off. Right along the side here, we have a bigger cap of meat, so we're just trying to square it off. So this particular one we are going to leave whole as a top sirloin roast, but it's also one that you can cut into fajita meat because it's super tender. Alright, so we got it kind of squared up on the back. We're going to flip it over and cut this fat cap off. You can sell it with the fat cap on. I have tried to do that in Centerville, but it does not sell at all. So I always end up taking the fat cap off. Once I got a good start on there, then I can just set it up. Nice small cuts. That way then we're not wasting excess meat on there. Alright, once we got that off, we'll flip her back over. The silver lining skin part is the only thing you're going to cut off. This part back here, if it comes off, it comes off. If it doesn't, it's not that big of a deal. But this is one where you have to be super careful with your knife. Once you get started, then it's a whole lot easier. And everybody will find their own way to cut. I like doing it this way. You can see my knife through that skin, it's so thin. And when I peel that back, I've got next to no meat on there. Knife and go down on this side. Alright, we're going to call that one good. This little part, you can leave it on there. So top sirloin, sirloin tips, And my 7 steaks. That's what we got out of that one.